Hello and welcome to the Jamel Boukabou Podcast, episode number 7. Today I have Ethan Nash on the podcast from TOTTnews.com, an independent news site based in Australia. And I will have him on for the duration of the show. But firstly, I'll give you a bit of an introduction about myself for a couple of minutes in case you're a new listener. My name is Jamel Boukabou. My website is jamelboukabou.com, which is spelt like it is on the podcast, JAMELBOUKABOU.com. That's my name. On my website, you can there's a contact form on the homepage. I'm a singer-songwriter. You can get me on iTunes there on the music section under Boukabou. And I'm an actor. I've got my profile there. And you can hit the podcast page, and that will bring up my podcasts and some sites that I have some of those guys on my podcasts regularly, which is independent news. And then there's the health tab, which is got a product that I've been on for 2 years, which is longevity, which is plant-derived minerals, which I think are the best on the planet because our soils are depleted of key nutrients these days, and quite a lot of other things, the GMO foods and things, we're not getting the nutrition in our food, and it works for me. So if you hit that and you just click the tab, get on the Healthy Start Pack, it's made a massive difference for me, and it has been, I think it's made me feel a lot better to be able to think better and sleep better and function better. My podcast I started to do, wasn't my New Year's resolution this year to start my own podcast, and it's just so happened that my first 7, including this one, are basically focusing and promoting independent news sites and sources, because to me that's been a really important thing that I've only just become aware of over the last few years, how the mainstream media does not cover so many important issues. And I would call myself a regular guy, so I work a couple of jobs and surf, sing, act, and just so happens that I find this stuff very interesting. I think you will too. So here's the interview, and I hope you get something out of it. And feel free to leave a comment. Visit my site, jamelboukabou.com, or Ethan over at tottnews.com. The other guys I have on my podcast is General Maddox from realnewsaustralia.com and Mick Raven from conspiracyoz.com. Check out their sites too. They've got local and world news based in Australia. I also listen to Infowars.com. I think Russell Brand just did an interview with Alex Jones. So check out that. I haven't seen it yet, but that'll be fun. I think Russell Brand's a good bloke, because he's a normal bloke and can be honest about stuff. And that's what I think. I think everybody has their own lives, but, things like important issues, you may as well speak up on things that you think you should, I think, because it's important too. And that doesn't mean you can't have fun with your life and, be I think I'm a bit of a larrikin, but I know what's serious and know what's and I take my podcasts, these first 7 have been serious issues for me, and, that's honestly what I think. Anyway, I hope you get something out of it. And I think I've mentioned Drudge Report, Natural News, they're 2 good sites too. But TOTTnews.com, Ethan Nash, here he is, and I'm Jamel from jamelboukabou.com. My guest today on the show is Ethan Nash from TOTTnews.com. Hey mate, how are you?
Hi Jamel, thanks for having me on.
And my guess is it stands for turnofftheTelevisionnews.com, right?
Yeah, originally it did start out as Turn Off the Television, but after I changed the name, and a lot of people wanted me to keep the original Turn Off the Television name, and I wanted to change it completely.
Right.
So I worked out a way that would be better for everyone to just shorten it to TOTT News. That way the name was changed, but still had a historical significance to it.
I can see the logo too. It's got a TV in the logo, doesn't it?
Yeah. So
So that's so it's Ethan from TOTTnews.com, which is an independent news site, and I've come across your site several times, and I've basically if you've heard my podcast before, you know what I'm doing at the moment. I just started off to just basically do my own podcast, and the first 6 have been news and politics, and I just thought the issues that we're talking about are so important. Like I'd like to talk about anything, but I think that the independent news sources are so important because the mainstream news sites have an agenda and they're not informing us of what's really going on. But I have come across your site several times, and I've thought, man, I've got to get you on my podcast. So, welcome to the show.
I'm happy to be on. It's great that people are starting to take it into their own hands. Starting podcasts, starting websites to really just get the word out. We all need to come together as a community to really raise these issues that aren't being covered or being suppressed by the mainstream establishment. So,
Exactly.
I'm happy to be on.
Exactly. So, can you tell us a bit about how you came about creating your site and a bit of a background on your TOTT News?
Yeah, no worries. As I said, it started out as Turn Off the Television. I initially started it as an investigative blog that really just explored alternative information about world events and news, etc. So I really, I started off basic with, the JFK assassination and sort of inconsistencies that were based around that, and just started. I had no intention of making it news at all, and in between, I started putting some news in between. I said, I may as well help the fight with the alternative media and just spread the information. And with that, I started to get a lot more traffic via the news. So I sort of faded out the investigation side of it. And this was on the blogging website Tumblr originally, back in 2011 when I started it. So I eventually decided I would move to Facebook, that I could really make a go of it. And I wanted to broaden it to just Australian issues. I said, we need to have an Australian network that really covers these issues. And this was before I discovered that there were already Australian sites like Truth News, Radio Australia, and all those people at the moment. But I really just wanted to give Australia a voice on the world stage. And, I started to head to protests, to network with other people, incorporating some multimedia elements. I actually had one of my videos early on posted on InfoWars, which was a big help.
Great.
For Australian, for my information, Australian information. And from there, just kept going along, kept sharing news. I changed the name to TOTT News because I thought the name that Turned Off the Television was a little bit, it was sort of turning away some people that just really wanted to have the news. I didn't think that it attracted many people. So I shortened it, and then I launched the website, decided I'd do some original work and still sharing links, and that's where we're at today.
Excellent. Well, going through a couple of your headline articles, the August 26th, strip searches approved in massive police powers boost for G20 forum in Brisbane CBD. Can you give us a bit of a rundown on that, and just inform us about what's going on with that?
Yeah, no worries. The G20 is coming to Brisbane next year, and the police force is, really starting to enforce these sort of really just unacceptable policies that they're going to be enforcing when the leaders come. First they started saying that drones were going to be used to surveil us, and now that they're saying that, I'll just bring the article up here. In the article, that police will be able to strip search anyone they fear is carrying a weapon or prohibited item. That's, they'll basically just pull anyone over. That's just a front that they're going to hide behind. And they're just going to be able to strip search you basically, and it's approved if you're inside this perimeter zone.
Well, that's yeah. Well,